again.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And take two.
I'm so glad I noticed that right then and there.
Yeah, me too, rather than an hour in. That would have been more annoying. Ah.
That's for when we need breaks and he's recording and he can just edit when he sees the little pink slip.
Ah.
We'll see. See if I remember.
You trade her in.
All right, here we go.
Alright, try it again.
It's fine. Don't worry. I've done this millions of times.
Well, welcome to the Action Sturge. Tonight we'll be playing Blades in the Dark. We've got a wonderful cast of rapscallions here, and let's go ahead and have them introduce themselves. Paul, why don't you go ahead and start? Tell us about Prof.
Hello, everybody. My name is Paul. I am playing Professor Hamilton Faraway. He is a university professor at the Duskville University, teaching many things to do with the occult and the supernatural and the ghosts that exist within and outside of Duskville. He is playing as a whisperer within the Blades of the Dark system, which is kind of like a Victorian ghost mage. He has charms, he has a book of coupons, and, you know, he's an old man, so he get a discount on some things. But, you know, he's really trying his best in this criminal, wonderfully dystopian world we're going into. And that's Prof.
Excellent. A book of coupons. I have to remember that. Fork Puff.
Hi everybody, I'm Fork Puff, otherwise known as Maddie. I'm playing Les, the Hound. He is our residential crab cake. He's also a really good long shot, and he is not good with Cupid's bow, though.
The ladies love him, by the way.
Yeah, the ladies love him. Not the ones he cares about, though.
Oh, yeah. He always wants what he can't have. He's never satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Terry.
My name is Terry, and I am playing Reginald Copperfield. I'm playing a leech, resident mad scientist slash chemical dealer. If you got something bothering you, I can fix it one way or the other.
Excellent. All right, and last time we left off with pretty much right at the beginning of a score. We did a lot of prep to get there, and but basically you guys have been tasked with supplying some strikers with some ordnance, party favors, and security is pretty crazy. There's a lot of blue coat involvement with this. With containing this thing, and they've also brought in a mercenary group called the Silver Nails.
Was it Blue Coat? I thought it was the Ministry.
The Ministry is the one at the very top pulling the strings, the Ministry of Preservation. But Les saw last time when scouting out that there are some canal blue coats who are patrolling the waterways, the waterfront in front of the ironworks.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
And with that,
It's going to be a toughie. Real big score. And we got some other aspects. We need to rescue some people. We need to sneak in. There's all sorts of things we need to deal with.
yes, the leader of the strike, Bella Broga, has been captured and is being held by the Silver Nails. So that's going on. VIP, very important person. I think that's about all you guys got right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We know it's going to be dangerous to know that they know there's some. These are the same mercenaries that have beef with these workers before, didn't they? They were bought.
Ah, yes, that's right. Yeah, so the majority of these workers here at the Ironworks are Skovlan, and they think recent history, Skovlan was rebelling against the Empire, and the Silver Nails were one of the, or actually the main mercenary group who was charged with containing them and squelching the rebellion, and they enjoyed their work a little too much. There's a lot of animosity between the two groups, the Skovlans and the Silver Nails.
And we're caught in the middle of all this feud and all this tragedy, and we're going to try and make out like bandits.
All right, so let's just jump right into planning and engagement, unless you guys have anything else that you need to do.
I think did Les successfully scout the building? I think he did, didn't he? That's the reason we got this information about the Blue Coats of the Warfront and stuff.
Yeah, basically, so the blindfold bridge here. Yeah, you're welcome. It took me a moment to remember how to do it. The blindfold bridge here, that's like the main supply line for all the armaments and stuff coming in for the Silver Nails. And then there's lots of smaller bridges. Les was able to see that the Silver Nails pretty much have the place surrounded. They've pretty much got it on lock. And the Canal Bluecoats are guarding the waterway. But so yeah.
Can you recap the job for idiots like me who forgot, but also for the audience?
Oh yeah, the basic job is simply just to transport ordnance into the Ironworks to the Strikers.
Gotcha.
And then they also made mention of Bella Broga and being captured, which could be a side thing. I'm sure that they would appreciate it if the leader of their strike was rescued. But of course, added danger. So.
Okay.
So the priority is delivering the munitions. That's the primary objective.
The strike will probably fail without them, and when they do get them, they're going to unleash all hell, most likely. So we don't want to be anywhere nearby when they do.
Yeah, some of these weapons are Imperial grade. It's like really good quality weapons, especially the explosives, which are Imperial grade as well. This is the kind of stuff that that Reg is probably like drooling over. They might keep opening the box and like looking at it, like
coveting it. My precious.
My precious.
Yes. I wouldn't blame him. So, would we know? Because like we are developing these, we are delivering these explosives to the inside of an ironworks, which is a refinery, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Explosives, especially high grade ones, in a refinery. I think, as myself working in a similar place, and Redmond most certainly know from the scientific standpoint, that's a very bad mixture. If something goes boom in a refinery, typically a lot of things go boom.
Yes, typically. But then again, I mean, we don't know if the Ironworks is actually operational right now.
True.
I mean, if they're cut off from the outside world, if they got anything going on, it'd be limited.
Okay. So I
Um,
guess the first, let's just get into it. Yeah, play it out.
All right, planning and engagement. Now there are 6 types of plans, which you guys surely know by now. Assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, transport. Which do you guys feel? How do you feel like approaching this situation?
totally got to be stealth.
It's got to be stealth. Yeah, there's no way we can physically
Yeah, I agree.
like beat our way past all those people. I don't think without creating some form of distraction or taking one piece meal or something. It's got to be stealth.
Okay, to trespass unseen. Now, the detail that plan requires is the point of infiltration.
So we got several ways we could do this. We have our camouflaged boats, which we do have access to, which would allow us to have a better chance of sneaking past their blockades on the water. We also have the access to Prof's arcane abilities. He can create fog and things like that, which we've used before. I'm sure Reginald could also do something with smoke.
Yeah.
Concoction.
Just smoke?
Well, just blaze it, 420 blaze it, maybe there's another option here. Maybe we could pretend we're delivering supplies not to the ironworks but to the silver people themselves, maybe. Or maybe we're part of a blue coat patrol with a prison wagon or something else like that. We could find one.
Okay.
Hijack a transport.
Yeah.
Daring.
It's quite ambitious.
Well, we already have access to the boat, and we know for a fact that the canal goes, because of Les's reconnaissance, the canal does go pretty close, and there are several ways up. Our barge probably wouldn't fit down the tiny bit of the canal, but we do have access to smaller boats that I'm assuming we could just tag along to the barge, so it probably wouldn't be much of an issue. The question is, how do we do it all unseen? I think Prof's fort would most likely at first drift to the barge situation because that's a tried and true tactic. We know it's worked once with
right.
With how we entered the ship the first place. All those many moons ago, when we first entered the ship to deal with that captain, which I think was the second session or third session.
Yeah, I believe so.
Does anyone else have an idea?
If you need to gather information on something specific, I think you still can at this point.
I was wondering, not canal specifically, but is there like a sewer entrance or a sewer system?
That could be a gather information.
Essentially, so we could come up in the middle.
So possible flashback, you can talk to the strikers and maybe they would know that kind of information because they work in that area.
Possibly. Or gather information. Either way.
Yeah, we can
If he gathers information too anyway, I don't think it costs stress for that, right? Flashback costs stress.
Yeah, no, there's no cost for this. If we want to frame it in a scene, we can definitely do it like you asking the guys over in Char Hollow.
We have established that we can get structural records from the university previously for one of our last jobs, so that is not also an option.
This is correct. So how would you like to go about gathering that information?
Now, that's a roll, right? So that's a study roll.
Yeah, you can do it study.
And
there's no it's just a straight roll.
Right. But me personally, the avenue I would take is talking to the people in Char Hollow. That I imagine there's some type of way in and out that they've discovered or come up with just to
for sure. They'd probably
get
also
people in and out.
People that clean the area around the sewer, maybe even inside of it as well. It's probably the same group. So
exactly. So that would be a study roll, I believe.
Okay.
You trying to talk to them? Just ask them a question?
Mark XP? No, wait, no, that doesn't happen here, right? You weren't desperate enough.
Exactly.
All right, so so you're gonna hear some hubbub. There was let's see. So it's limited. You get incomplete or partial information. More information gathering will be needed to get all of the answers. So you're gonna hear some hubbub that there used to be an underground train that used to go. There was a noble who had like set up a secret operation, and was doing some shady stuff beneath Duskfall. So there's like an underground train tunnel somewhere. It's said that it crossed under the ironworks, but nobody knows if it's true or not. It's just kind of a urban legend at this point.
Right. Okay.
So something Prof could do about that situation out in the field more so than it could be gather information. I'm not sure how this would play. Essentially, one of his abilities allows him to compel a ghostly presence from the Ghost Veil, who he then could ask one question or give an order to one question.
Okay.
I could ask, could you please locate and direct us to the train line, as an example, because it would basically just float down through the floor. Unless there was only charms in place, which is unlikely.
Okay.
That's what they want you to think.
We're gonna find out.
How would you like to gather that information?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and attune to the Ghost Veil by opening my wonderful book of coupons, which is actually coupons and charms. And I'm going to take out one of my charms, and we're going to try and attune to the Ghost Veil to assist Reginald in this gather information role with the knowledge he has now found, by trying to talk to a ghostly spirit, maybe one of the workers or something that died, working at this refinery or something else like that. Maybe the ones that died during the original conflict. Very possible.
Okay.
This ghost has stay around for a long time. And see if they know, or if they can direct. The question would probably contain one question. Can you please direct us to the underground train line?
Yeah. So you'll attune.
Which will probably be an attune roll, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had already said attune. You can roll whatever you want, but
Yeah.
I was using it descriptively.
So compel requires the attune anyway. In this particular instance, it's more mechanically set. This one.
Okay.
I'm also going to do it away from my allies, because while I am not supernaturally terrified by the ghost that is now summoned, everyone else will be. So I will do this in alleyway somewhere.
I've got my gauntlet. I'm not afeared. I can punch a ghost.
We have a partial success.
Partial success. Great. Standard. So you get good details, clarifying, and follow-up questions are possible.
Ooh.
Excellent.
So you're going to pull this ghost out of the ghost field. It is the it still looks he still looks the way he did when he died. Half of his body has been sort of like melted off, as if like he's maybe got hit by like a lightning rail or something like that. And just like he's just melted, half melted, and he's gonna look at you with his cold, dead eyes and wait for your question.
Could you please direct us to the underground railway line?
Now, do you have like a map or like a okay.
So the Outlaw's Guide kind of doubles as a map. Not part of the ritual. It just doubles as a map and then has it on it, so I could open it up and look at the map.
Okay, so he is going to he's going to point right here.
Oh.
the middle of the river.
Yeah. Okay. I can only ask one question according to the attune thingy, so that's me.
Okay. Clarifying and follow-up questions are possible with the gather information. So.
Okay. Well, I'd love to ask some more questions.
Okay.
Is this where the entrance is?
He's going to slowly shake his head.
Could you please point us to the direction of the entrance?
His mouth will open, and you'll see like a beetle sort of crawl out of it and like up his face. And he says, he croaks. He says, "No entrance, no longer."
I see. Thank you. Have a good rest. Dismiss him.
And he will scan your face before he disappears. As you'll see his eyes sort of like study you for a moment before he disappears.
Go back to the group. Yeah, I'm very sorry, but it seems like that the entrance to the railway tunnel is no longer a possibility.
That is unfortunate.
A very powerful connection has told me so.
It's a good thing I wasn't there, because I would have many questions about that beetle.
Yeah, me too.
Is the beetle dead? Or is it part of him? Is it?
When we get back to the cave, we're gonna nerd out together over that in a bit.
That's actually just a fine Duskvalian cuisine right there. A juicy beetle.
A juicy ghost beetle.
Juicy ghost beetle.
Okay. So that's no longer on the cards.
Can I ask, just the gather information tab, where is that in the Blades in the Dark PDF thing? Just so I can kind of see some examples of some questions and stuff, because I'd like to help, but I'm just not quite sure what to ask or how to gather. Probably not anywhere near where the score is. I've been looking, I didn't see.
I think it's under basics.
Basics?
Copy and pasting what I put on the website into the Discord, and there is a link.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Paul.
My pleasure. So we got a standard. You get good details, clarifying, and follow-up questions are possible. This is basically an example of what you could do.
Yeah, it's under the basics. Okay, let's see here. Examples and questions.
Yeah, so we've got a possible lead on an underground railway station, but it seems like that is no longer... An entrance is no longer possible, but that doesn't mean that we can't use it, which is interesting. Because if an entrance is possible, it's most likely to collapse, but that doesn't mean that we can't use it in a different way.
Well, I'm looking at... He pointed, like, to the middle of the river, right?
Yes.
What if I kind of do like a little stakeout action and kind of see if anybody looks a little suspicious, or if a giant whirlpool opens and there's a hatch at the bottom of the river parts, there's a trap door, and
Well, Prof's thinking is that maybe it's flooded. Maybe
yeah.
Then we can swim in.
Yeah, so let's see here.
Unfortunately, I'm an old man, and as such, that really isn't on the cards for me. I can't hold my breath that long. Unless I had some assistance from a gadget, mayhaps.
So I see, for like an example, it says you might survey a manor house to case it for a heist. What's a good point of infiltration? Would that be something, would I need to like, I guess, can I keep an eye around where the ghost pointed out to us in the river and ask what's a good point of infiltration, or do I need to do something else?
I would tell you where the ghost pointed and put it on the map as well, because unfortunately the ghost's presence would have supernaturally terrified you and given you both conditions.
Yeah, you just come back, you're like, yo, that guy was weird.
Yeah, that was really weird, but he did give me some good information.
There's, ghost beetles exist.
I didn't, and I study it.
Now, I do think the implication is that this tunnel or whatever's down there is not in use any longer. So, like,
Accessible at all.
well, no, it's just not in use. Like, I don't know how beneficial a stakeout would be on that particular piece.
What would we
Okay.
roll to try and swim down and discover more about that location? Because the rivers in Duskville, from the description I remember, are that they are filled with muck and junk and all sorts of other disgusting things. I don't know if that's the case in our rendition.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
I got something better. So is there like I'm imagining there's like a stark contrast between like the strikers and then like the silver nails and stuff, right? Is there any particular silver nail we know? Is it silver or iron?
Silver.
Okay, silver. I want to so I want to hunt somebody. I don't want to kill them, but I do want to like stalk them essentially and like follow like specifically a silver nail and see where they're going and what may be suspicious, or even if it is their house, so we can go and rough them up, and get some information, whatever.
Okay.
It is the silver nails that we're going up against, right? That's what the score is against mostly. Or am I wrong?
So we're trying to sneak. The job is to sneak in weapons into the Ironworks to give to the strikers, but we also have a secondary objective, which is to rescue the leader of the strikers and a couple of his compatriots from the Silvernails, who have their main base, I believe, in the Dunton area. I remember, or around the Ironworks. Oh, were they in Gussamer Street in Skiltus?
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah, so that's where the Silvernails headquarters is.
Okay, that still wouldn't hurt though, because like I said, if we can get in there and rough them up too, if I find out where they live or something, or see if they do anything sketchy and use it against them.
They definitely do stuff that's sketchy, 100%.
Yeah.
We know we would know from the last session that they are an elite mercenary group with many ties to high society. They know exactly what they're doing. They're well armed and well armored. We theoretically don't want to fight them because it wouldn't really end in our success. But we may be able to take a different angle, as you quite rightly say.
Like bribing or intimidation, per se?
It's possible, but unlikely. They are a very well-connected group.
Yeah. How good are they in with the bluecoats? Do we know that?
You could try to find out.
Yes, I would love to do that.
So, in order to gather this information, I'm going to need you to Oh, well, that's right. You get to choose the action. I would recommend prowling.
Prowling? Okay.
I think what you were talking about, like kind of following somebody around, you said you were going to use hunt, but I feel like that might fit more into prowl. And I see you have an extra pip.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I won't complain. Partial success.
All right, so you get good details. Clarifying and follow-up questions are possible. So you're going to find out just by sort of prowling around some of the places, maybe like in Skid Row or along some of these some of the outskirts of this like war zone situation. You're going to be prowling around and maybe eavesdropping on some Silvernails. Talking about stuff. You're going to find out that they do not have a good relationship with Bluecoats at all.
Perfect. That is just what I needed to do some like intimidation if we catch one doing something sketchy. You know what I'm saying? And then we can use that to get some information out of them.
There's actually infighting between the Silvernails and the Bluecoats.
We got rid of those bluecoat uniforms, didn't we?
We did. We planted them on the ship.
Yes, that's right.
Tried to implicate the Fockhounds even more.
And Paul, I feel like I didn't give you good enough details for that tunnel. The basic gist you're going to get about that tunnel is that it is flooded. The original entrance is not accessible, but the original. Well, I guess it depends. I guess it has two entrances, right? The one that was originally away from the ironworks, away from the ironworks, is not accessible any longer. But the one at the ironworks is accessible, and I think it would have collapsed at some point. So
makes sense. So it's flooded, but you could probably come out in the river at some place, swimming through it if you really needed to, as a general gist.
Probably half flooded, I would say.
Half flooded. Okay. So, see, there's no way. Okay, yeah. So Prof wouldn't know about any of this. He'd probably question. He'd ask Reginald first and foremost. Well, it seems like we could probably use the tunnel if we could somehow get the items down there, but I don't know enough about explosives. Wouldn't they just get wet and not work?
No, most explosives are packed, waterproofed, and we could waterproof it further.
Very clever.
But even if it's underwater, that's no guarantee that it's accessible. Like if there was a collapse, we would have to dig underwater to actually get through.
Definitely requires further investigation. Maybe one of the ticklers wouldn't mind a bit of a jaunt in the river.
Also, Reg, you also know that these explosives are very potent, very powerful, but they're also very volatile as well.
Right.
So what is the so have we shifted plans? Are we still stealth?
I think we're still stealth.
We're definitely still stealth. It's just the point of entry that is up in the air at the moment.
Yeah, there's several ways of entering. In my mind, we have the newly discovered, thanks to some good rolls, we have some newly discovered information about the underground passage, which we may be able to access, we may not. That would require either more rolls or some investigations to see if we could even get to it. We'd also probably have to roll to pack the explosives tight if we wanted to bring them with us into the ironworks that way. It may also be a point of egress after we get in. Of course, another way is we just go straight over the bridge and we attempt to sell ourselves off or disguise ourselves as someone we're not. The explosives, are they in like one big crate, or are there like several? Is it like a carriage full, or is it like something we could carry?
It's like a carriage full.
It's a carriage full.
Yeah, it's explosives and then some other armaments as well.
Right, so it's a carriage full of equipment we've got to get across. It's not something we could just individually carry in. We do have access to extra manpower in the form of the ticklers now, let's not forget, and they could definitely help carry them. But yeah, that's going to be very difficult. So in my mind, the two best options are trying to sneak our way in by disguising ourselves as something we're not, or by exploring more into the underground passage. What do you guys think?
I feel like getting a carriage full of stuff past in disguise. I think that's the riskiest venture, personally.
Agreed. Like we could pull up the boat into one of the areas and try and sneak the carriage through when we're already in. The question is, how do we get it into the ironworks itself? Because they've got it completely surrounded. So even if we could get the boat, past Blindfold Bridge, maybe even partially into the Soot Canal, or into one of these other further dock areas, right? Which we could definitely do. We have the ability to do that. We have a stealth boat, and we have the ability to create fog. We could definitely use that fog to transport the carriage or the equipment as well, maybe on like a pulley up from the boat or wherever the situation requires. The question is, how do we get it into the ironworks? Now, I don't want to plan too much, obviously, because this game doesn't really play into the system.
Right.
So I think you guys will just have to commit to an entry point, and then see where we go from there.
So I know you said the Silver Nails had like all the bridges and stuff like that monitored and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're set up on all the bridges, and their base is here on Gossamer Street.
Now, were were there silver nails on this beach here, or was it just blue coats in the water?
Blue coats in the canals, or blue coats in the water, in the waterfront here.
Well, there's still regular traffic going through here, right?
They've got it all blocked down.
They all locked down. Okay.
Yeah, we don't really have to sneak our way through. We do have the ship, and we have the supernatural abilities to aid in that. Of course, it might not go well.
Yes.
From the blindfold bridge here down to the last dock here, or actually probably over here to the steel hoof canal.
How about something like this? We have our friends the Ticklers create a real ruckus down by the Stillhoof Canal. They can take Blackrook Road. They can, because it's right next to the garrison, right? And the Crucible, this is like a prison, and the garrison is obviously the garrison. Maybe we have the Ticklers next to Gossamer Street, or maybe we do it on the other side of the river. Maybe actually do it on this side of the river. There's a labor camp here, even better. So the precinct, right next to the precinct, which is quite a big part of the Bluecoats and everything else like that. We have the Ticklers throw a couple of Molotov cocktails and things like that, create a real ruckus by the dockside, and try and get the attention of the boats that are on the Blindfold Bridge in that area. And we try and sneak past the boats that way, try and get to the beach, and then take the stuff through the rail work line into the ironworks.
So the point of infiltration will be the beach.
Yes.
That gets my vote, personally. I don't know, do you have guys that have any other ideas? Please feel free to speak up.
Only amendment to that plan is I think we should come up from the south as opposed to the bridge end.
Yeah, agreed. It does mean going past the garrison and the Crucible, but that is significantly easier than going past the bridge. I agree.
All right, Les.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so the infiltration point will be the beach.
Yep.
And that's the detail. So the item loadouts. Go ahead and calculate your load.
I'm going heavy.
Yeah, fair. I'm going to go normal, simply because I feel like that's most of what Prof could theoretically carry on his person, being an old man. Longer the days where he could carry a backpack full of MREs.
Les, how are you loading out?
I believe most of everything else I have doesn't have too much load, so I'm normal.
Normal, okay. All right, and then we set up the engagement roll here. You get 1D for sheer luck, and then we've got major advantages or disadvantages. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Robbing is a very well-trained mercenary group, and the Bluecoats, who are a gang higher than us. And, if this does go really, really wrong, we're right next to the garrison, the Crucible, and the precinct. So, bad places to be, if it does go wrong.
Is this operation...
So crazy, it just might work.
That's your guys' tagline.
We have blown up a lot of stuff. Also, the Foghounds have blown up a lot. It wasn't us. No.
Some stuff you even meant to.
Fake news.
Is this operation overly complex or contingent on too many factors?
I don't know. It is contingent that we're able to sneak past the Bluecoats, but the rest of it from there seems to be, from our point of view, a pretty honest shot.
Yeah, I think
You
it's...
have lots of ways of, allowing us access. So I would say no. Even if one thing goes wrong, we could still compensate in other ways.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. Pretty straight shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright, does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Yes, absolutely. No question about that. I mean, there may be a weaker point, but this is the one bridge that the silver nails aren't covering. We are creating a distraction which will hopefully redirect some of the Bluecoats' attention. And we know from experience what the Bluecoats' blockades are like, and we have snuck past them twice. So theoretically, this is within the realm of possibility. I feel like we should be pretty confident going.
Okay. And then, let's see. Take 1d. Is the target strong?
In my humble opinion.
All right. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? And are any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation?
None from me. Nirax definitely could do a lot to help in this situation, but I think we've got like a running theme going on where he's willing to help, but I've got to make him a homunculus body and do some other things. So while he could probably possess someone on one of the boats and get them to say, "Oh, look over there, get him," or something else like that, I think maybe we want to roll to see if he actually does it or not, because we're a bit of a question mark situation.
Okay.
Personally. How about you guys?
Well, no, not for me, probably.
I feel like the gondoliers could definitely help us in this situation, though. Most of our points of entry, our main point of entry is on the water, and the gondoliers are our absolute ally. They will go out of their way to help us because of the time we invested into them.
Right.
If we wanted someone to create a ruckus on the other side of the river, as an example, or on the other side of the bridge, saying, "Why can't we go through here? What the fuck?" as an example, excuse my French. That's definitely something the gondoliers may be able to do. So I'd say definitely yes, we have friends that could help. Beyond the question mark, that is Nirax.
Okay. I'm going to take a D away, though, because you don't know it, but you do have enemies or rivals that are interfering with your operation.
No, I know that mine wouldn't, because this isn't what he's interested in. He's more into arcane items and the sneaking of them and selling of them to third parties. He's basically a black market dealer for the arcane. I don't think this would particularly interest him at all, but I don't know about everyone else.
Yeah, this is a bit high risk for Valerius, at least that's what I would think.
Well, I don't think any personal enemies or rivals would be involved, but our group or gang rivals or enemies could be, definitely.
I completely agree. Horatio is prime example. Precinct or investigator for the Bluecoats, is he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely have an edge. So yeah.
Yeah, darn it.
He's not here, but definitely would be if he was.
So something I just want to mention, since you're talking about Nirax possessing someone, we do know about the hostility between the Silvernails and the Bluecoats.
Yes.
Don't plan too much. Don't plan too much.
I'm just saying. That's where I was ending it.
So, and then let's see this. Let's see, what are these guys? Higher target, lower target. I'm gonna leave it kind of where it is. So, I'm not gonna penalize you or boon you for that.
Nope.
So that's a 3D on the engagement roll. Looks like we got a partial success here. So it's a mixed result. You are in a risky position when the action starts. All right, so the beachhead is the infiltration point. You guys rolled a standard roll, so you start off risky. And the infiltration was to create a distraction and then hit up the beach, right?
Yeah, so it's a two-pronged, in my mind, kind of way we're doing this. We're using one of my abilities, which costs 2 stress. Which will be, if I can remember its name, to create fog. Essentially, is what we're doing. We're creating a wall of fog. It can be pretty expansive. They say it can cover a portion of the city, and I can control it at will. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to use the Tempest ability to unleash heavy fog in the vicinity. And I'm basically going to create a little funnel through that fog that we can see through, but makes it very difficult for people to see out. So occasionally it's a bit like a periscope popping through the fog. Is how I'm imagining it. Which should hopefully allow us to navigate the waters unseen, because we do also have a stealth ship. And then on the other side of the river, I believe, is what we kind of fought. was that near the labor camp we could make a hell of a ruckus using the ticklers. Maybe they could lob a few Molotov cocktails, just like start yelling some slurs and things like that, try and getting the attention of the blue coats who are guarding the waters. Maybe even throw a couple of Molotov cocktails at them.
Even better. I say we have, I don't know how easily accessible silver nails are, or if they have like armor or what, I don't know what they have, but have the ticklers dressed up as silver nails. That way, they'll cause a real hell of a ruckus.
Amen. And if we're okay doing a roll for it, or we could just do it straight up, Nirax would love to kind of take part in that whole aspect and to possess one of the boat captain and say, the Silver Nails are attacking us, what's going on? Defend the precinct. So if one of these fails, we've got 2 or 3 other aspects.
We got backups.
We've got backups.
So you guys are going to start off in a risky position. And so I'd say... you wait for the signal, which is maybe a loud explosion on the opposite bank.
Yep.
And as you're sort of hiding in the shadows here, waiting for the signal, you'll see that the canal bluecoats, they seem to take the bait. You can see their boats sort of slowly begin to move in that direction of the docks over here, all except for one. What do you do?
Well, that one can't possibly cover the entire beachfront, and we are obscured by heavy fog, so I say we just go for it.
Yeah.
Definitely not the entire beachfront, but this remaining boat is exactly right where you want to be.
Of course it is.
Okay. Well, maybe this is a time for Nirax to shine, and try and possess the captain of the boat. Drive it toward the driver of the boat and start driving it towards the other side.
Okay.
So I'll try and summon Nirax by writing on some fish oil and try and summon him and ask for a favor from him.
Okay. Now this might be the place for a flashback, right?
Yeah.
You having a talk with Nirax? All right, dude, listen.
Well, the thing is, right, we're a bit in a precarious situation because he wants permanence. He's a good friend of mine. He's willing to help me out, and that's not really a problem. But he does require permanence, and I have been relying on him a lot over the past, not the past few times, but before that, we used him quite a lot. So I don't know if you want me to roll for this, or you want me to just try and convince him.
Yeah, just a scene. There's no cost to this flashback. You can just ask him.
So I'll just sit down. I'll open up the Outlaw's Guide. And I will write in fish oil to summon Nirax, and just basically it's a very simple request. I need your help once again, dear friend. An object of your permanence is desired, and in order to do that, we need funds. To attain them, we need you to kind of take over that tugboat captain over there and drag him away if you can.
He says, I have been patient.
My friend, you're already dead. You can only be patient.
My patience thins, friend. You promised me this some time ago.
I'm telling you, I've been doing everything in my power to look into it.
I want something fresh in the meantime.
Well, there's a lovely captain of a boat over there that I don't know.
I want something beautiful.
But you constantly partake in beautiful people down at the red light districts, do you not?
There are rumors that you're holding something in your mansion.
I have my children. That's what you're referring to, my friend. But I know you can't possibly be referring to them. You know what I have in my mansion. You visit me at my office often.
And the young woman is what he's making mention of.
Yeah, the young woman is but a child. Surely you have higher tastes than that, my friend. She's also guarded by another apparition. Like, it's not worth your time.
He'll shrug and he'll say something else then.
Whenever we've tried to attain you a body with permanence before, it's never really worked, has it, my friend? You've been rejected and displaced from it after a very short period of time. What makes you think this will be any different?
Just something to pass the time.
Oh, well, you do that yourself all the time. That's a weekend for you, is it not, my friend? I know there's prostitutes in those areas. Given a visit by you every other day, my friend. I can see you hovering around.
And he says, it would be nice to be something other than a prostitute from time to time.
Or would you like to perhaps take one of the more respectable forms of a young lady? We can go on a gallivant around town. Is that what you have in mind?
And yeah, he seems pleased with that.
Sounds like a date.
And then he'll smile and he'll say, "Old friend." And yeah, he'll do this thing. He will. You'll see his light hovering above the boat that you're trying to get rid of, and just as quick as it descends into the boat, it is repelled out.
Ooh, right, they've gotten wise. I'm just gonna look over and see if he's hurt, because that can actually quite damage a ghost in my mind.
How did you want him to appear to you? In front of your friends, or
Yeah.
let's maybe. Yeah, I think he's actually not thinking too clearly right now. So I think he will appear in front of your guys' boat. And when he does, how do you guys respond to ghosts? Those of you that don't see them often.
I definitely need a closer look.
Jesus, I flinched back.
They would know Nirax, but his form is still pretty disturbing. I think what we originally agreed on, I do like this quite a lot, is that his own form is that of one of those old captains, old sailors with like the hat on. It looks like a fishmonger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that he was drowned at sea. So the face is all drained and everything else, so that's pretty bad.
Yes, and he his skin's all kind of like his flesh is kind of like bloated and gross looking. Yeah, so he will appear in front of the ship. This is a resistance roll to for both of you that are not used to seeing this. And you may choose maybe resolve, perhaps. Yeah, I think resolve would be the way to go. Okay, so Lester. Oh, good. Wow, look at both of you. That's amazing.
Thank God for that.
Nice.
Friend, you're right.
And he says, "Silver."
Okay, no, not a problem. We'll still go on that date. Thank you ever so much for trying. You may want to vacate the premises. We're quite near some unscrupulous characters that may want to dispatch your ghost, my friend.
And the inky black water will swallow him up.
Perfect.
No, Rudy. And then I pull the rifle from my back, and I'll be like, "Oh, my shoot."
Oh no, sorry. He's my friend. You met him once. That was a while ago.
Not him. I meant the captain of the boat he couldn't possess.
Oh, well, I mean, there's definitely some distraction going on the other shore, but would they not hear a gunshot and come running?
Not with my silencer. And I'll smirk, and I'll be like, "The one you got me."
That's right. You tend to forget things in your old age.
Nah, it's all good. I want to put my sights on the boat.
Okay. With this, what kind of ability would you or action would you like to use to gun down the gun down the captain of this boat.
Is the captain a male or a female?
As you peer through the sights of your rifle, you will. It's hard to see. They have their high collar and their back is turned at this moment.
I can't.
Why ever not?
It could be a woman.
What difference does that make, my friend?
Women don't deserve that sort of treatment. I don't feel right killing a woman or a child at all.
You're such a Casanova.
I'm not seducing her. I'm just saying that's not fair, you know, guys. They're gross and rough and gruff, and they deserve everything coming to them. But
I partially resent that, but also agree with you.
I mean, look at your wife.
She's a gorgeous, wonderful woman. Yes.
Exactly.
You hear another explosion from the other bank.
Whatever we're doing, we're gonna be quick. How do we get this?
I mean, so the boat is parked between these two docks, right?
It's not parked between the two docks. It's just kind of It's just kind of meandering around the docks. It definitely looks like it's. Well, yeah, it definitely looks like it's parked, but it's kind of on the outside here.
Do you guys think we just go for it and try and use the fog as cover?
We can try.
Yep. We can only try.
So I think we're just gonna go for it to try and land on one of the access points if we can, either away from our original objective. I don't know if you want to wear a complication for that or something.
Well, so this southern port here, so pull up on that southwestern side,
Yeah,
essentially, hopefully trying to stay out of view long enough to unload.
exactly. We'll have one of the ticklers driving the boat, and he can drive the boat away once we're off. As an example, we just need to depart the cargo onto the shore. We're unskilled by very, very heavy fog, which hopefully gives us some.
So the fog is already out.
Yeah, that would have been deployed during the approach.
Sorry, that was part of our original plan.
Okay.
So I paid 2 stress to use the Tempest ability under the Whisperer thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Which creates heavy fog.
Okay. And so periodically throughout this this whole thing with the ghost and all of that, you're gonna have heard this low rumbling sound, like some kind of horn, emanating from the direction of the boat.
Wait, from their boat or our boat?
Their boat.
Okay.
Some kind of signal of some kind.
It happens periodically, seemingly at random, but that would have been in the background while you guys were doing what you were doing.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's a horn. So guess we still proceed.
I think we do.
All right. So as you pull up to this dock, the fog is not as thick as you wanted it to be. It's definitely thinner. You can make out it's not so thin that it's like clear air, but you can kind of make out silvery figures from the boat over here. And as you guys pull in, let's see who's driving. What kind of action do we want to use to slip in?
I'll be driving in, so that would be what is the driving? Finesse.
Finesse, okay.
And yeah, I'm going in, so position is risky. Effect standard.
Yeah, risky standard, yep.
Yep. All right. And I'm basically trying to go low and slow. I don't want a heavy wake or a lot of engine noise or anything like that. But
Okay.
did it roll?
Yes. Partial success 4.
Okay. So the partial success, as you slide in, let's see, let's put you in a desperate position. Just as you slide into to the dock over here, you're gonna hear that horn again emanating from this other boat, which now you're closer. It doesn't look like the standard canal bluecoat boat. And you're gonna hear another belch from the horn, and the fog will continue to thin. It is now thinned so much that you can make out more than silvery silvery images. You can see some things with detail now, if you're looking in the right place, and yeah, and that seems to coincide with the belch of this horn emanating from this boat.
Realizing that this horn is probably tricking or playing with the ghost veil in some way, I'm going to put on my fine spirit mask and see if there is a magical or ghost-like presence emanating from the horn. Now that I can see it a bit clearer.
Absolutely. Does that require an action, or is it just you just put it on and see? So you're gonna put that on, and you're gonna immediately see this definitely like. I was gonna say enchanted, but I don't know if that word exists in the in the world of Duskfall. You're gonna it's so pleasant. You're gonna see this, but yeah, basically this enchanted foghorn attached to the. Well, actually, I don't know if it looks like a foghorn. It probably looks more. In my mind, it looks like a big what is it? Phonograph, ear thing. Sitting atop the this boat, and it's definitely radiating some kind of aura to it, and you can see your fog is sort of like has this like electric quality to it as it's being manifested by your powers, but you can see that this thing is definitely sort of suppressing your fog field, and but only momentarily. That's why it seems to have to keep blowing.
You relay this to the group.
I do, yes. After twisting the little knock on the side of this Phoenician mask, the eyes go down, get that view, and then I will very quietly try and push the rail around. Yeah, they're just dispelling my fog. It's a terrible situation.
Now, I have some electroplasmic ammo that works against ghosts. Would it work against ghost horns?
I would imagine if you disrupted its internal magic qualities, it would probably help.
Just tell me where to aim, because I'm assuming I can't see it. Only you can with your goggles, right?
It would
or mask.
probably highlight it, but you could probably make out the phonograph sound. But I will definitely point exactly where it is, because we're getting really close now. We could probably see it.
Yeah, if I may, I'd like to make a suppressed shot to disrupt it. The what is it? Electroplasmic ammunition.
Okay, so the so you can see it a little more clearly than you would if the fog was there, because it's weakening the fog. But that means that there is also the risk that someone can see you as well.
I'm willing to take that risk.
Okay.
The boat has hidden rigging, so when it's at rest, it looks like a normal civilian boat, or like nothing. It basically, the way that it describes it is perfect concealment. I don't know if that would help in this situation or not, because we're currently stationary.
Okay. Yeah, that would definitely help. I would boost that to well, what action are you gonna do?
Probably hunt. That's what I use to shoot.
Okay. So I would put it in a controlled position, standard effect.
Hey!
Fantastic. Just as the fog begins to coalesce around you again, the
Wait, less is more. And it's like you know how like when the cult shoots in Supernatural, it like follows the bullet trail, like the camera just follows it.
Nice.
Exactly. So just as the fog begins to coalesce and you say your line and the bullet fires off, it's gonna hit the horn. It's not gonna do much damage to the horn, but you'll see this like explosion of electricity, or you probably won't, but the prof will, and the whole thing will kind of go staticky. And just as it's winding up for another belch, it'll just kind of go.
Good job, Les.
I'll nod. Does the fog sort of start coming back now?
It does, yes. and you will hear some cries from the boat.
What a shame. I think they
I'm
had a
working on getting
malfunction.
unloading.
Okay, so you start unloading. The fog comes back around, as you giving you some good cover. So you start unloading. I'd say you can get everything loaded onto the dock here.
Okay.
What do you do next?
Tell whichever tickler is taking over the helm, and just basically shoving them off downriver and basically go with the current. Keep engines low.
All right, yeah.
And heading inland.
Yeah, so we're probably there's several boxes, so I guess what Prof will try and do is point towards the rail lines that Les scouted out earlier. Like maybe there's a cart we can use to speed this process up. What do you guys think? We need to find some way of transporting these goods.
Yes.
Could we organize a flashback?
Yeah.
Right, so I wouldn't have been there, so this would have to be a Reginald thing. Could we have asked them to have gotten one of the mine carts, not mine carts, but one of the transport, not trains, because I don't really think it'd be a train in my mind. One of those transport trolleys that's on the rail lines, essentially, and ask the strikers if they could push that towards the dock front.
Well, what about kind of like a hand cart or a small dolly?
Yeah.
That I took time to make track length width. So basically, we just have to carry it to the tracks, and then we can roll it the rest of the way.
Perfect.
And that would cost stress, yes?
For that, I would say that's going to cost a coin.
Ooh, I do not have a coin.
I do. I'll happily pay.
Okay, and that would essentially cover the cost of a downtime action to get like an asset.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the things unloaded from the boat is this trolley, and as the tickler that has accompanied you is unloading it, he kind of looks at it. He says, "I don't know, Reg. You think this thing's gonna work?"
Only has to work for a little while.
And he gives you sort of an unsure look, and he says, "Well, good luck, you guys."
See you soon.
Stay safe. And close.
My question is, which one was left?
Depends which one we want to have it be.
I was trying to look for their names, but I couldn't find them.
Bloodshart, Jedediah Summerleaf, Dinkles, Vinny, Baxter, Jock.
Jacques.
It's Jock.
Yuck. Oh yeah, well done. They're under cohorts.
Yeah, Moon Cursors.
Okay, and yep. So you're loading this stuff up now. It's still. You've got the fog, and that's you've done well so far, staying under the cover of that. How far does that fog extend, Paul?
So, according to the description of the ability, it can be basically an entire neighborhood. So it can be pretty substantial. The fog.
Okay.
It's an incredible powerful ability, but it costs quite a lot of stress. And it's maintained for doesn't really give a period of time, so I feel like we could probably make that up. Or until it's dismissed, whichever way we want to do it. But it's definitely large enough that I could cover this entire area in fog, and it can be controlled at will. So how I'm imagining this essentially is like we're at the center of a hurricane situation. There's a little area where it's completely fogless in our little area, and then completely around us heavy fog, and then periodically we'll get like a little very, very thin looking bit, which Prof will be at the front, kind of just like willowing everyone forward and maybe saying stop if there's someone in front or something else like that. A little gap through the fog, because you can control it at will by twisting it and understanding it within the ghost veil. Of course, though, if they have anyone present who is proficient in such ghostly matters, as they clearly do because they are prepared with a horn, they may be able to tell that the fog is ghost-like and do something about it. So there is that downside.
And that is the thought that is crossing your mind when you're hearing the water, something large moving in the water towards this dock over here, and I'm going to let's start a clock. Yeah, let's start a clock. So yeah, so you're hearing some movement out. You heard some cries like when the foghorn went out. People were just you could hear some like fuck, like what was that? What's going on with it? I don't know. Blah 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 blah. You know, just people shouting to each other. So you're gonna hear some sounds. Those sounds kind of getting closer.
Okay, so we're currently on the dock on the beach side where we've got the stuff on the dolly, right, and we're moving it towards train tracks.
Yes.
Right, so I guess we'll just hurry. Our boat is leaving for now and staying close, but it's leaving its position, trying to get a bit further downriver, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I guess we just go.
Okay.
Time is of the essence.
Absolutely. And there's so there's the beach here, which is some sand, and then there's like a bank, like an upraised bank up here. There's probably, I'd imagine they're like loading stuff on and off, so I imagine there's some ramps up this bank here. But doing all of this, even under the cover of fog, I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna require an action of some sort, just to sort of navigate through this fog, still remaining undetected. But I think the fog is going to give you a controlled place to start.
It makes a lot of sense because we are, using it to slowly advance in the center of a hurricane, so very difficult to see in through, but not impossible if you have the means. Like
right.
If you had the Fine Spirit Mask as an example, you could tell that it was magical in nature. You won't be able to see through because it's still fog, but there are ways.
Yeah. And so I think, is everybody working together? Is one person carrying the stuff?
I'm probably in charge of the stuff at the moment. So I believe if you want an action for that, I believe that would be a survey roll.
Okay. Survey. Let's see. You said you were manipulating the fog, Prof, so that you could see like in front of you at least, right?
Yeah, basically creating very eye-size holes, like looking for a keyhole, essentially.
Okay.
Walking around, basically just peeping through it.
Okay. And does that extend to everybody else, or is that...
Yeah, I could point to an area and then it will do it. Essentially, you have full control over the fog. I can, center it around one object en masse, or I can spread it out.
Okay, excellent. So you said survey. I'm going to put you in a controlled position. This is going to be controlled standard.
Okay.
All right. The minor complication is that you're going to get to the ramp, and you're going to start going up, and one of the wheels from your device is going to pop off, and the trolley is going to tilt, and the very volatile
boxes of nitroglycerin.
Yeah, is going to shift. You're going to hear a clink, and what do you guys do? You can also resist as well.
Yeah, I am resisting.
Okay. And you can let's see. I think that would probably be maybe a prowess.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So prowess. Just a straight prowess roll, right?
Yeah.
What's your prowess at?
I have 3 pips.
Oh, nice. Okay. I was gonna aid, but
If you want to aid, grab that wheel.
That's a survey. So success. You reduce or avoid the effects. You suffer 3 stress. Yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
But you stop it from exploding in your face.
Love it.
from killing us all.
Now you are kind of. No, I'd say I'm gonna say you stop it from exploding, and you can kind of like rebalance it so that you're three wheeling it, but you're still going up.
Okay.
And you guys get to the tracks up here. You guys get to the tracks up here. What's next?
I'll leave that up to the two strong fellows beside me.
Evo question.
Yep. Well, get it lined up on the tracks, and hopefully it's a straight shot from there.
Evo.
See if I can jury rig that wheel back on.
Okay, that might require an action to repair that. What will you use for that?
That's definitely a tinker.
Tinker.
I thought so. Still covered by the fog. Nitroglycerin.
Light as well if possible, like to help with him seeing what he's doing.
I'm gonna do risky standard, since the real danger here is the yeah. Okay.
And before you roll, can I? Did you roll? I wanted the aid. Damn it!
Just let it.
What is the aid thing again?
So I can spend one stress and give him an extra D to roll.
Yeah, you can spend that stress. Go ahead and give him an extra D.
Stress. Okay.
You may roll one more die.
Is it /R?
Yeah. /R.
Yeah.
My finger! Ow!
I could just imagine like Reginald and Lester are like the Reginald's like the dad and you're like holding his tools. Not that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Shine the light over here. What? Don't be an idiot.
So
I love that this is the part of the heist that goes wrong.
I know. It's such a pedantic, silly part for something to go wrong, and it does. The wheel fell off.
all right, so you also suffer consequences.
All the
less.
wheels fall off.
Now I'm gonna say you're gonna lose this opportunity. You're gonna lose this opportunity with the wheel. The wheel you're repairing. So it's gonna shift. It's gonna go flying off. It's gonna go back down the hill into the weeds somewhere, and then
I definitely have to hit every rock down the way. Ding, ding, ding.
and then the cart is actually going to tilt, and it's gonna smash your hand less.
No, my face gets all red and my eyes water. I'm just like holding my freaking.
Take a level 2 harm, broken hand.
Ooh, that's I think we've all got our hands
Supposed to
stuck in
shoot with this, friend. Tell me, how am I supposed to be helped now? I'm like trying so hard not to be pissed. It's like that whisper yelling. That's all you have to say.
Now while this is going on, Prof, are you distracted by this by the scene? Or are you like on the lookout?
I would have been on the lookout, but at the moment, I would oh, what the hell? So yeah, I would be distracted. Yeah.
Okay, and when you do look back up, you are surrounded.
They see us,
They're close enough to see you, I believe.
even through all the fog.
How close would they have to be?
Like within the sphere of our area. Most like it's very heavy fog. Like you can't see 2 feet in front of your freaking face. That heavy fog.
Yeah, I'll say they would have advanced on you quickly, and following the sound, and So some figures will step through the fog. It might be difficult to kind of see them at first, but some figures step through the fog. They are dressed in rags. Essentially, they've got all sorts of bandanas like tied around their face, and some of them are wearing like assembled pieces of like assembled armor out of like scraps of metal and whatnot, and holding an array of instruments. And as they step through the fog, they're rather violently. What do you do, Prof?
Well, old man, hello. We've bought supplies. They don't look like silver because they're not equipped enough.
So you're gonna try to talk them down?
I'm trying to talk them down. Yeah, basically saying, "You did hello. We bought supplies. No threat."
Would you?
Calmly.
All right. Would you like to roll an action?
I would love to. Yes.
Okay.
Probably a Consorus way. By the sound of it.
Yeah, sure. If you, which one did you want to do?
Consort, ideally.
Okay. And let's see. I think there would be. I think it would be. I think it would be risky. What's above standard? Great.
Great.
Risky, great.
Risky. I'm going to push myself and give myself an additional D.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Take the stress. I rolled a 2 and a 3, so that's a failure.
Okay. So you're going to so you're like, what do you say?
I'm going to attempt to say peace, hello. We're here to help. We have supplies. Very calmly. And I'm probably going to choke on my words a bit because of all the fog.
So the person that has approached you has this like beard that covers like it feels like it covers all of his face and then like some of his torso. He's covered in like soot and grime, and he has this some kind. It looks like a piece of some machine, maybe some lever arm that he's holding, and he approaches you rather quickly, as if to quickly dispatch you with the with this lever arm, but he's going to stop all of a sudden, and try to look behind you, even though there's like just a wall of fog there, because a sound has startled everyone, and that sound is the sound of a boat docking and its members disembarking.
Okay, I know you're confused with the situation, but we got to bring these to you guys up there to help. Okay, we got to go now.
Who sent you?
We're the crew smuggling you supplies.
Who sent you?
Damn it.
Reg,
Reg, you know it's Hutton.
Hutton, yeah, that's it.
Hutton.
And he's gonna look over at Reg, and look back at you, and he says, "What's Hutton sending us?"
Munitions, explosives, grab a box, let's go.
And with that, he nods and to all the other people, and they're going to sort of pitch in and empty the cart out here, and start making it for the main building. Meanwhile, you will hear the voices of the people in the boat getting closer.
They're in the fog, right?
They are, yeah. But you can hear someone shouting out directions, kind of like how you were leading him. You can hear someone shouting out directions.
If possible, as they are in the fog and I can control it at will, I would kind of like to try and make it so there are figures appearing out of the fog, and maybe trying to get to the fog to kind of like kind of touches their cheek a bit, so it feels like someone's touching them or something else like that. Because you control it at will essentially, and I can create these little spy holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to create spy holes essentially just backwards, ever so slightly, because this guy's clearly on the same page and is able to manipulate forces similarly to me at the very least. But maybe his friends would be a bit more concerned if there are figures coming at them from all directions. So essentially I'm creating shadows by the absence of fog in certain areas. We know this is the way that the light works within fog, and this figures are going to start running towards this group. So it's going to look like they're being ambushed, but in reality it's just the fog moving.
Okay. And do you think
this guy can see through that?
and do you think that would fall within the purview of the power itself, or do you think that would require a roll?
You can control the power at will. So as long as I could imagine the target, and I know it's back there, and I could see them by creating the fog, these lens holes, these keyholes, essentially, it wouldn't be that hard to theoretically say, okay, that is what I'm doing, and just focus my mind, picture it, and then implement. It's within the purview of the ability. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so you'll hear shouts and cries as the crew members below on the beach below are kind of losing their shit. You're gonna hear that voice again shouting out, telling them to calm down and trying to explain over the cries, but they don't seem to be getting through.
Can I chuck a grenade?
We don't even know who they are.
Aren't they the blue coats?
We don't know.
No.
But yes, you can always chuck a grenade.
I just thought it would, I don't want to go, I'm not trying to get to I don't really know where they're at. I don't want to get to the center of them. Just somewhere between, I'm just saying somewhere between us and them. Because I want this one guy saying, don't worry about it. It's not real. It's not real. And then an explosion goes off.
Keep it feral.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just for effect. You're not you're not trying to
No.
really wreck
Basically,
anything.
I'm just kind of rolling it down the ramp. I'm not like chucking it into the middle of them or anything like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can just like whoop, roll one down there and boom, it goes off. You'll hear cries, and it'll solidify the illusion.
Nice. Almost gave me a heart attack, but well done. That was very smart.
And then beaten feet following the strikers.
Okay. Now who is carrying the ordnance? Or sorry, who's carrying the volatile ordnance?
I am.
All right.
I don't trust anybody with that.
Understandable. Your beaten feet. This is probably more than those people on the beach down there, more than the silver nails. This is probably the most dangerous thing that is going on in this vicinity. Now I understand you're trying to hurry up. I think you've bought yourself a little time, so it's controlled. But I think I still need a roll to transport this precious cargo safely.
I'm going to call that finesse.
Okay.
Aiding, causing more stress, trying to guide him through the fog a bit clearer.
Okay.
He has an easier time, like his feet aren't covered or anything else like that.
Okay. So that's an extra D.
Taking the stress.
Holy.
Was that with the extra D?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, there's still Les here with his broken ass hand. Let me see what I can do. Let me look at teamwork here real quick.
Press
How many people can go up and aid? Is there anybody else that can aid? Or is that one person can only aid then?
At this point, you can step in to face a consequence that one of your teammates would otherwise face, so you can suffer it instead of them.
Protect.
Yeah, you can roll resist for him.
What would that resist be?
I think it would be prowess.
what do you have in prowess vertically?
I've got 3.
Oh, so you're probably actually better. Holds my broken hand in contempt.
If you wanted to resist.
I would want you to probably resist.
I'm definitely going to resist.
I'm at the front trying to guide our way through, so I wouldn't be able to.
Right.
It's all happening instantaneously.
Now I think you can push resist rolls, right? And I think you can take Devil's Bargains as well.
Yes. Which is probably worth it considering what you're carrying.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Devil's Bargain. Maybe it might be. It depends.
Oh, this is going to go so horrible. So, yeah, I'm going to resist prowess. I'm going to push. Jesus Christ.
Is Les aiding the push? Can we aid a push?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't see.
When you
how,
assist another
honestly.
player who's rolling, describe what your character does to help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can assist a resistance roll.
So would that give me, and I pushed. So would that give me 2 extra D?
That would.
So can I like grab you by the scruff of your and pull you back as well from toppling over?
So that's gonna. This better work.
We'll see.
Prowess plus 2D.
Oh my god, you're welcome. That's a less right there at the end.
Whew.
You suffer 0 stress. As everybody sort of like conjoins to like stop this thing from tipping over.
Yeah.
That was close. Oh my god.
Yes.
Especially since I am at 8 stress right now.
Same.
So there's probably a moment like when like an uneven track on the train track, and like you just like you stumble. It threatens to topple out of your hand. You can hear the clink 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 clink, and like maybe even the top sort of flies off, and then Les steps in and does what?
Oh, did it fall?
Well, it would have if you hadn't stepped in, right?
Oh yeah, so like what I imagine is I've like grabbed him by the back of whatever he has, pack, hoodie, whatever. I grab him and I grab him, Squid Game style, and hold him there, and I look at him and I'm like, ow.
Huh.
Squid Game style, I like that.
Yeah, like Ali holding up the one guy.
Yeah. Man, Ali got done dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And I'm going to proceed a little bit more carefully.
Yeah, and you'll as you make it to the door here of the main building of the ironworks, they'll shut the heavy metal doors behind you guys, and the inside is bereft of fog, and you guys can see clearly again. It might be a little bit of a shock. You can see some low lanterns, some lowly lit lanterns spread around, mostly shadows. The place is not well lit, and you'll see a large group of people sort of gathered in this main room.
Did somebody order some explosives?
They all look they all looked pretty frightful when you guys barged in, but when you say that, some faces relax and you can see some hope flying across the room.
We have come to deliver. I believe you know Reginald.
No, they'd have no idea who I am.
So Horgan will come up and shake your hand. He was the bearded guy that kind of got in your face. He says,
Is his name Horgan?
Horgan.
Nice to meet you, Horgan. May you call the professor. Pleasure.
He says, "Oh, this is going to change things. This is going to turn the tides. All we need to do is get some of this on some of them."
Great plan.
And he goes to the box you're carrying. He's gonna go and sort of like peek in it. He's gonna start to go to handle one of the bottles.
Something with wheels. Put it down. Leave it down.
He'll motion some people over and they'll bring like a little flatbed cart to set it on.
There you go.
That isn't a drink you want to spill, my friends. I don't know anything about the subject, but if Reg says this is a really bad thing to drop, don't drop it.
Anybody can put this back into place. Anybody. I'm
Once I
already-
put the box down, yes, I can.
No, I'm so pissed at you.
I'm afraid I would trust Reg with this. Come on, Les. Don't be a baby. You're fine.
Give me your hand. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh no, man! You'd break my hand just by touching it.
It's like a complete right angle, like backwards, like touching the freaking like bed.
And then Horgan looks at Reg and says, "So, what's the plan?"
I thought you guys had the plan. Or did Bella have the plan?
And when you say Bella, like there's a audible reaction from the rest of the people in the in the room, like murmurs and whispers and just kind of maybe some stifled exclamations of woe. And Horgan will turn to you and say, "I thought Hutton sent you to replace Bella."
Afraid not. We're just the delivery guys. But we're not leaving you high and dry. I mean, we'll help out where we can.
Speaking of which, I believe we have an engagement with some hostages.
Yeah, that's Bella.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna pull Horgan aside and ask him what he knows about the
Gossamer Street.
Silver Nail building over there, where they're holed up. Can we get eyes on it? All that good stuff.
And he'll nod. He's happy you're gonna help. He'll take you up to one of the higher points on the Ironworks factory, so you can kind of get a. Duskfall is pretty gross and foggy most days, and the fog outside, is that still going?
I would go up with them, seeing him going up there, and I can literally part it like the Black Sea and just get a straight look at the building.
Okay, and so you can do that. You can see some lights, like some lanterns and stuff lit over here. You can make out some figures walking up and down the rows, and looks like the majority of their forces. Well, actually, maybe this would require an action of some sort. What would you like to? What kind of action would you like to roll to suss out some details?
Study or survey. They're both 1 dot. So.
Okay, go ahead. Meanwhile, what is Les doing?
Yeah, what's going on down here? Is there anybody I can mingle with, talk to? Anybody that can tell me anything about Bella and what they know? Any weak points in the Silver Nails? I'll show them brandish my fine pistols and my fine rifle with my somewhat mended hand, and just ask them about any weak points that they know about the Silver Nails. Since
Okay.
they've been fighting them for a while.
Okay, absolutely.
Poor Reg. Reg, it's a rough night for you, bud.
Reg is
This
on
isn't
fire.
And this isn't even a game. I can get experience points for all this.
Well, what's interesting about this is the fact that you didn't die. So, I know that it's been going a bit here, but it could have been so much worse.
It could have been, but yeah, I am not your go-to guy tonight.
You're doing good.
If you want, if you summon me up, I can come up with my spyglass. I got a survey too, so.
We didn't blow up. As far as I'm concerned, this is a great success.
We have completed the primary objective. Yes.
So I'm gonna put you in a desperate position. When you look over here, maybe you have your own little spyglass that you can see with, or maybe you can just recognize the distinguishing features of Imperial uniforms. But it's not just silver nails over here. There are actual Imperial militia.
Son of a...
As in the army?
As in the army, yeah.
Ah!
Damn it. That's one hell of a failure. In my mind, that's why the Imperials appeared. I don't know if they were there before or not, but
You would be correct. Had him on the back burner.
son of a... Ugh.
So that's what you guys are doing up there. Les, you said you were looking for somebody to talk to get some information from. I don't even know if it would require an action, really. These people are looking for any help they can get.
Please tell me you got some booze down here.
Yeah, one of the ladies will.
Hey. I mean, hey.
Hey.
There's probably some beauty beneath all that soot and grime, but she's definitely a strong woman. She looks like she could tie you into a pretzel.
Hey.
Nice. Just why Les likes it.
Yeah, give me some whiskey.
So she's gonna say, "There's no booze here. Hasn't been any booze here in weeks. We're just trying to get by."
I can't imagine you'd get very far without any booze. I'll probably then pull out like a little flask and like screw off the top and take like a little sip and then offer it to her.
She'll greedily wet her whistle and hand it back to you. Maybe a third full.
Oh. Feel better?
She says, "Some food would do nicely. If they keep us here any longer, they'll starve us out."
We're gonna do the best we can to help you. Tell me, what do you know about the Silvernails? Who else is all involved in this? How can we help?
Silver nails. Demons in human skin, all of them. The things they did to us during the war.
Absolutely despicable.
The things they've done to us now. They've got our bodies of our fallen hanging off the bridge.
It is a gruesome sight.
And she considers that for a moment and then grabs the flask out of your hand and finishes the rest of it.
Oh. Oh, damn, now we're really out of booze.
She says, "So you're here to help, or you're here to just drop off supplies and leave?"
I want to help. And I'm sure my gang does too. But I need to know about as much as the situation and the cover ground of this area so I can help. I can't help much with just by myself, but with Reg and Prof, we put our heads together, we can come up with something.
Well, Horgan will want you to get Bella back, that's for sure. But no one's thinking about the wounded.
How many wounded do you have?
12.5.
Good God.
Do you think you could take them on your way out?
Oh, Jesus. Looking at the lady. We can try. I want to help. But the only way I can is, how wounded are these folk?
And she'll take you to them. There's like a little section, dimly lit, that they've sort of quartered off as a patchwork infirmary. They've been wrapping wounds with whatever they have on hand. Some people are lucky enough to get a clean cloth. Most of them have these like greasy, soiled cloths that they're binding their wounds with. Some are missing appendages. Some are missing eyes. Like it's a pretty gruesome sight. They've been torn out.
Mm. Okay, well, it would be a bit of an expedition to get this done, but I would like to get it done. I'd like to help these people.
And there's one more thing.
Hmm.
And she's going to tending to one of the wounded is this young boy, and she's going to go over to him and put her hand on his shoulder, and she turns and she says, "Can you please take my son?"
Yeah, this light's like a fire and less. There's just like this, like his eyes go from like somber and sad to like heat filled, and absolutely, I immediately grab my gun and like he's about to storm out and take on them all one by one.
He's carrying this kid in his broken hand,
Yeah.
gun in the other. Doesn't care about the pain. I'm coming.
We'll get this taken care of.
And you guys can meet back up again.
That was a lovely bit of fresh air, considering the situation. How was it like down here, Liz?
Absolutely terrible. We need to get these people out of here.
What?
They're hurting kids. They're hurting women. They're hurting men too, but that's beside the point.
I'm afraid it is.
That's what men are for.
Horgan says, "Absolutely not. Nobody leaves."
But they're injured. They're gonna die without the proper aid.
And if we flee now, all of this would have been for nothing. All the ones who did die will have died for nothing.
It's not for nothing. You have what you need now.
You need to push your pride aside and look at how many more lives you're about to lose. You go in there and tell that young boy he's gonna die then.
My heart is with the boy. It is. But this goes beyond him. This goes beyond any of us. We're not going to be treated like we've been treated by Master Slane.
Then I suggest you leave with your lives and find somewhere else to go.
There is nowhere else.
I'm sure you'll find some work just fine. Hell, join us.
And he says, "No one leaves."
Damn it! And I'll throw like some, I don't know what other, probably one of something, my empty flask at the wall in frustration.
And he'll stomp off and begin talking to some of the other strikers, and they'll start distributing weapons. Some of the stuff that was packed in there, not just armaments, but also some food and water and stuff. They'll start passing that out.
Now, you want to get the injured and the child out?
Yes. You didn't.
I don't have a clue how we could do, but we could for sure escort the child out.
It was I thought the dead bodies hanging off the bridges were truly terrible, but this is disgusting.
I'm afraid it's the nature of how the army and the greater government deals with these situations. The simplest answer is normally to eliminate the problem at its source.
Just imagine if it was one of your kids.
Oh, don't worry. I've taken steps to make sure that never happens because I've seen this many times in my life.
I don't know if we can get them all out, but it would be nice to at least take the kid.
I have no idea how we could even begin to get the wounded out. We know about this tunnel, and we know that it leads to the river. We know that there's a possibility it may take us out into the river, that we could, if we have to, I'd rather not, because these clothes are very expensive, but if we have to swim, we can swim. I'm confident the child we could carry, but the injured would not survive it.
The child, he'll be my responsibility. The rest, I'm not so sure.
I know that fire in your eyes, Les, and I understand this is important to you. And to be honest, it's lit a fire in my old heart as well. Children should be treated as such. I am on board, but we have another problem to deal with. Are we even going to attempt to deal with the situation over at Gossamer Street? What did you see, Reginald?
Imperials.
As in Imperial delegates or Imperial people?
Imperial soldiers.
Ah, fuck. But are we allowed to swear? Go on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Ah, fuck.
Imperial military, which is a level a level sixth tier gang.
Yep, the highest, I believe, or some of the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That complicates matters quite a lot. I have many friends who are up in the upper echelon of the Imperial Army who have served in that theater. They are one of the most well-equipped, if not the most well-equipped fighting forces in Duskville. There is no way in hell we can get our way in there by force.
And Reg, that might tickle something in the back of your brain too, because if they're that well equipped, then they probably brought some of that stuff with them, some of that equipment with them.
True.
I
All
say
right.
blow them up.
Huh. So,
How are we going to deal with this, guys? Yeah, I'm very confused. I'm sorry.
what? So we are on top of the ironworks currently?
We're inside of it
Yes.
currently.
Yeah, I think you were at the top, and then you came down back to the hideout. But if you want to take us back to the top, we'll probably go with you.
Oh no, I didn't leave the top.
Oh,
I'm trying to scout out that building across the street and see how we can get in or over or under or
Yeah.
something.
The conversation
you-
after that's been done. So you need to do anything up there. Just do it now.
yeah. Would you
Yeah.
like me to survey as well to see if I can see anything through my spyglass?
You can take him up. He's got the equipment.
May
So
I
yeah, we'll
do
have
that?
this conversation downstairs. Like
Yeah.
and then we'll go back up.
Risky standard, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Partial success.
Better than I've been doing.
Okay, so a complication will occur. I think that you guys have been inside the ironworks here for a little bit. I think you're going to see that that foghorn boat sort of making its way down the corral or down the canal here, and it's going to stop.
Pardon you, sir. He
Excuse
says,
me.
no, it's not. Say it's not so.
Excuse me. You're going to see it sort of make its way down here, and disembarking from it in the company of these Imperials military over here and a few silver nails. You're going to see what's left. Well, you see the high collar person step out, and they're going to turn, and you're going to get a good look at his face. And this appears to be what's left of the Foghounds. And this is Cal.
Oh, you bastard!
Fuck you, Cal! I yell.
Fuck you, Cal!
I thought I wanted to kill these guys before.
How far could you throw that grenade, Reg?
Hmm?
How far could you throw that grenade?
And as quickly as you see him, he will be obscured again as they enter into a building.
I'm about to say, I could totally make that shot. Don't think I couldn't.
Okay, so now-
certainly do it. I believe in you.
Come back out, bastard. Come back out.
But you were looking specifically for something else, right?
Specifically, what we were talking about,
Imperial Army.
the entrance, I guess, like where they're going in and out.
And
Yeah.
possible roof access or
Yeah, what ways of entry, I suppose.
Well, they've left a. Well, there's a perfectly good boat there, mostly
Yeah,
empty.
I so want that boat. I so want that boat now. I'm sure Prof would love to study that horn.
Yes, actually, I would. I know I'm certainly not the only one with this particular, trick. It's quite a common part of the repertoire in a Whisperer's arsenal. Because, Duskfall basically is always in fog anyway, so you're just emphasizing what's already existing, so it's quite a common theme.
So yeah, so I think any way we slice it, this is probably going to be a 3-parter.
Yeah.
If we plan to rescue them or if we plan to escape, there's no question we're gonna need an assistant.
So the last time I left off on, were there any points of entry for where Bella was?
Oh, yeah. So there's let's see, what happened? What did you roll again?
Partial success.
Right. Okay. So you do it, but there's a complication, right? And the complication was
Is Cal.
Cal.
Cal. Fuck you, Cal.
So so yeah, but you'll get the information you want. You'll be able to identify which building most likely has this prisoner in it, has Bella in it, and I think, yeah, just based on like the amount of guards that are outside of it, and then or there seems to be like a nice rotation of guards around this one building, and it seems to be the only building that's treated like it's housing something that needs to be protected. But that's not exactly true. There's one other one. I'd say that building has 2 guards, but then this other building off to the side has 1 guard that is guarding it at all times. And as far as an entry point goes, there's a lovely, mostly empty boat hanging out in the canal here. And
does Cal know our faces? Have we ever met Cal?
I assume that you had, you guys had some kind of. I mean, you started off at war, so I assumed that you guys had some kind of.
Well, it was a Lala that had beef with him, right?
Well, and if
it's such a convincing case.
Well, if Lala's
like, fuck you, Cal.
Well, if Lala's got beef with somebody, you all have beef with somebody, because just by association.
For those at home, Lala was a character we had with us at one point. Unfortunately, she couldn't give it the time because of life issues, so had to go. But yeah, we have an anti-hero, an enemy. We have a villain, thanks to which is Cal. Fuck you, Cal.
And we were doing so good with them. We extended the olive branch, and they came back and decided to be assholes yet again.
Well, I mean, they're literally just doing their jobs, but how dare they?
Yeah, but how dare they? You're already on thin fucking ice.
I mean, you walk into a war zone, things happen.
I don't care.
I'm just saying to Kyle, he might not walk away from this, but that's just what you get when you get between 2 opposing forces. It's got nothing to do with us.
Wasn't the Foghound boat the one that exploded when it hit that residential district or that bridge, right?
Yeah, that was their main boat.
How the hell? Like, what kind of political finesse did these boys use to inaugurate themselves with the Imperial Army after their boat explodes against
They got
a residential
conscripted.
District? I mean, maybe they've been bribed. Maybe they can be blackmailed because.
Dude, look at Cal. He has a high collar fucking coat. Where did he get that shit from?
He's always had that. That's signature.
No, it's not. I imagine it was like shirtless with suspenders and shit. Like, and he's like super tough, like like the buff 1920 steampunk guys with the handlebar mustache. Yeah. But he just looks like a scrawny little white dude, like, and it like the suspenders are too big, like.
He's reinvented himself.
Yeah, now he has this stupid fucking high collar.
You do realize this means you had a chance to shoot him before.
Yes. Wait. High collar. I wish I killed him.
Don't worry, we'll get a chance. I'm pretty sure. Hey, we
Um,
have those explosives, right?
Yeah, right. Cal,
No, we're not using the explosives because then the Imperial Army will get involved, and then we'll all die. Okay?
I'll take it under consideration.
yeah.
Okay.
It is definitely an opinion.
I'm sure Maddie can relate to this, but I got kids to raise. I got to live.
So yeah. So is this a good stopping point, or is there anything we can do before?
I really don't think so, because in order to proceed, I think I'm going to have to look for some usable items in the ironworks and come up with a plan.
I think it's a
And
good stopping point.
yeah,
Agreed.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. We were at 100, and then we lost a subscriber, so now we're at 99, and it's just an awkward number to be at. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and get us to 100 again, and like and comment and all that stuff. And thank you so much, guys, for playing. Paul, people can find you other places, right?
Oh yeah, I like to stream around quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm all over the place. I like to take part in video games, especially those that are streamed. I feel like it adds an extra bit of gravitas to it, but also I just love seeing the faces of the people I play with. I feel like that adds quite a lot and makes it pretty fun. I am in all sorts of places. You can see me on Twitch on Goblin Cave TV, which is one that has rep the action search a few times. A great bunch of people. Karsh over there does a lot of freaking work. They have very professional setups. Like he showed me how he handles with like his streaming setup and everything. I was like, God damn, that guy's put the effort in. So over at Goblin Cave TV, they have a game on almost every day. They have cast members lined up all over the place. Very professional setup. If you're looking for that, very good. They have Pathfinder over there, D&D. They also do another Powered by the Apocalypse game, which is why I mentioned them. They also do the City of Mist, also Powered by the Apocalypse. Very similar to how Blaze in the Dark works. Very story based. If you enjoyed this kind of storytelling, then you'd enjoy that one.
Yeah, it looks super fun.
Sundays at 10 p.m. GMT, so DST. So
Excellent.
I think 5 p.m. EST.
I think so. 5 or 6 hours off, right? Well, awesome, and of course, thank you for Puff and Terry, as always. And have a good night. Thank you so much.
Night.